Better? Okay. We're going back to 2010. All right. So that's 15 years ago, right? Okay. So I had come to the conclusion, I made the decision to become a fitness instructor. Okay. I was really excited that I had made that choice, and I was really pumped. And at that time, we had 4 kids at home. Okay. So they were from like grade school through middle school. Okay. So I went and did the training, I studied, I worked really hard, and I went to the, they had a day long in Orlando where we had to go, get certified. I did all that, you guys. And then I waited the 41 days to find out if I passed. And of course, Betsy, and Sherry, that that's not easy. That's all the bones, the sinews, all these things connecting. I'm horrible at that. But after 41 days, look at this. I got this in the mail. I'm official! So it says, the Aerobics and Fitness Association of America, in recognition, it says, with all the honors, rights, and privileges. Woo! Okay? That's awesome. So it was very exciting. And so then the next step is to get hired, right? You gotta find a job, okay? So at the time I was attending our club, okay? Who's a old R Club person? Okay, so in your opinion, is our club's room bigger than this? I felt like it was way bigger.
Yes.
It's way bigger.
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
Yes.
Okay, so the room is huge, and Maria Pizzino was the in charge of everything, right? We all know Maria. If you're in this industry at all, if you've been going to classes, she's amazing. She's great. And so I was like, I had my little certificate. Maria, I got my certification. Will you hire me? And she says, I'll tell you what, Melissa. Why don't you do one of my warm-ups for me, a 5-minute warm-up, and that can be you try out with that. And I was like, okay, yes, okay. So I was so excited and so nervous, of course, and I get set up, I get everything going. I'm there the day of, you have to use the mic. I don't use mics normally, you guys know that. A lot of the instructors do use mics, okay? But she's got me mic'd up, I've got my music going, and I am ready to go. I've also got a girlfriend in the audience, a friend that came, her name's Shelly, and she was there to, to kind of help me through it. But, so I start to do the warm-up. I feel like warm-ups were different in those days. They were like a lot longer. They were, I don't know, in my opinion. Come on in, you guys. And so anyway, I start doing the warm-up, okay? We're doing it. I'm counting them down, doing the grapevine and stuff like that. And as I'm telling them about it, my mouth is getting so dry that my lip goes up like this. Biggest smile ever. So I look like an animal up there, and I'm trying just to shake it off, not worry, but I'm not gonna do it. I keep having to undo my lip, and so I'm doing that, and just the second I get it down, it comes back up, and so I had to do the whole. I wanted to stop, but luckily, in the audience, as I'm about ready to crumble, I hear, Melissa, come on! Woo! Keep going! My hype girl in the audience was hyped me up, you know what I mean? And she came up for me, all right? And so I just said, screw it, you know what? I'm gonna do it and I'm gonna finish this. And so I did it with the lip up and it was done. Okay? So, snarl. Yeah, snarl. Okay, well guess what? I got the job.
Yeah.
Woo! Yes, exactly. So I got the job, and it was. I want you to think now. This is where I want you to start thinking about you. When have you done something that was terrifying? Okay, we've all done it. When have you done something that kind of scared you? You were intimidated by it, and you did it anyway, right? Can you all think of a time that you kind of did that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay, it's emotional, right? And when you get to the other side of that, there is no better reward. The relief, the thrill, right? The excitement. I mean, isn't that what life is for? Isn't life for growth and just nothing can be more delicious and more amazing than when we push ourselves through a scary thing, right? So you have notebooks. If you don't have a notebook, come grab a notebook real quick and a pen. And I want you to write down the last time that you were scared. You did it scared. You did it anyway, okay? So just take a minute or two and write that down. Sherry, what's up that? Girl, come on. Okay, this will give me a chance to get my mouth wet so I don't have
Now we're looking for it.
Right.
Exactly.
We'll cheer you on no matter what.
Yeah. so, guys, here we go. Let me get through a few of these. All right, so in my opinion, wait, I'm sorry, you're right, I forgot. You guys got it? Looks like you guys are done. Some of you guys are done. Okay, all right, so you got that, just hang on to that for later. So in my opinion, there's two big takeaways from this experience, right? So the first takeaway was the doing things hard, right? And that's the only way we experience growth, okay? What was the second big takeaway? Did you guys catch that? I was pretty loud about it.
Your takeaway?
Oh, my takeaway. Like, what can we learn from that story? Like, was there?
You need support.
Yes. Hype girls. Yeah.
Come on now.
Hype girls. Okay. Yes. Okay. So I want you to look around right now. I want you to look around this room. We're small in numbers. This is our first little attempt at this, but I mean, just look around the room right here, guys. Some of you aren't members here, and that's fine, that's fine. But I mean, the person that brought you or invited you, that's your hype girl, right? That's someone that cares about you enough to invite you to something like this, or your spouse, or whatever it may be. But I just want to say that South Beach Fitness and all the people that come here, those are your hype girls, right? Or boys, George. George.
Thank you.
I'm not including you.
It's actually the girls.
Okay? So, who has, of the things you wrote down, would anybody want to share something that they did that was hard?
I moved to Japan.
And you were scared about that?
Scared to death.
Totally. And what did that end up being for you?
The most amazing experience of my life.
Yeah, totally. Okay? Yeah, that's a big deal. Anyone else? Who else? George?
My high school first varsity wrestling match.
Oh. And how'd it go?
I won.
Yes. Okay, who else?
I put Melissa's class. Your class. For real, though.
Yeah.
So some of you know I've been working on my PhD for the past 6 years and I haven't moved. So I have freshman 15 pounds times 3, right? And so I just started coming back to the gym. She was one of the very first people I met. And someone said, join Melissa's class, you'll love it. But I was afraid to walk in here because I was overweight. I couldn't budge. And I am victorious. I love her class. I love her, and I am reaping so many rewards. So, thank you.
All right, I'm gonna skip that part of my speech right now because a lot of us joke all the time about, oh man, when is the gym gonna clear out? When are these New Year's resolution people gonna give up? I don't, but I hear it. I hear it. And I know it's kind of funny because that's the truth of it, isn't it? I mean, that's honest truth. I looked up statistics, and 80% of people drop out by the end of February.
Yep.
Sure.
Okay? Why do you think people drop out? Don't they feel better? I mean, why do they drop out? Do you think?
No hype person in their life.
Yeah.
They need that hype girl.
Yeah. So I want you guys to picture this. I want you to picture you're joining a gym, and you can just listen to Alexandra's story. It's scary. And it's intimidating, and a lot of people won't set foot in a group classroom because they don't want anyone to look at them and to judge them and to think they're doing it wrong and they're overweight or whatever it is, They don't want that judgment, and because they're judging themselves, right? So they actually do it. They sign up, they do it, they come in, and you come in and you see all these green spots. And so you're like, I don't even, and you know how we all get about our spots. Right? Or what? It's a freak show in here. I gotta tell you guys, it's like a major freak show. It's like, you guys are, I like it too, I get comfortable too, but I mean, like, they come in and these people don't know where to go, and you're like, oh, that's safe for someone. Oh, no, and they're just like, they're buffeted kind of around, and how are you gonna feel? How would you feel? Would you wanna come back? Okay, you're living your worst nightmare, and then you're kind of left to your own devices, I'm not saying that as an instructor, and I know we try to get out there and greet and welcome, and I see you guys doing that. Don't get me wrong. I'm not passing judgment on you. I'm saying, probably I'm speaking to the choir in here. You guys are the ones that do that. So, but if they see you do it, you know what? Other people will do it. And that's just how it works, you know? So I want to challenge you. Kara, I want you to write this down. This is your next challenge, okay? Open your books. I challenge you to change your spot.
Oh no!
I challenge you. I challenge you. That's it. I know. Some of you won't do it. That's okay. Because you might not need to. You might want to keep your spot. But I'm telling you, it's good for your brain.
It's true.
Back me up on this. It's very good for your brain. You're like, now instead of looking this way, you're having to look this way, and everything's like discombobulated a little bit. I'm going to challenge you to do it because it's good for you and it's good for other people. Think about going to church and there's church pew savings. Are you kidding me? Like, okay. You want to say something? Did you have something to say? Oh, no?
Oh, I can't change my spot.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you're an instructor.
Okay. So I'm saying that let's break that. People not staying, because I think here at South Beach we can 100% help those people feel welcome and feel belonging, right? Okay, awesome. Here we go. Let me move on here. Okay, so we're gonna go back to thinking about something that you want to do that scares you. Okay. No, actually, I didn't even ask you to do that. I asked you to write down the last time you were scared and did it. I want you to think about something that you'd like to do, something that scares you, something that intimidates you. Now, before you do that, I want to remind you, like, think about our muscles, okay? If we don't work our muscles out, they atrophy and they shrink and we get weak and they will, you know? So we actually want to go to failure when we work our muscles. Is that true? Okay, someone who knows about muscles, why do we want to go to failure? Or why is that a good thing in working out? Anyone in the room? You all know about this stuff. Don't you? Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, I do.
Go to failure so you can increase your metabolism. Would be my favorite.
Okay, good.
Keeps you from getting old.
Yes.
Amen.
Yes. Okay. When we go to where we can't go anymore, those muscles break down and they grow back stronger, right? So why are we so afraid to fail in the other parts of our life? Have you ever thought about that? Why is failure like such a negative thing and so scary for us if we think we don't want to try something new because we might not be an expert the first time we try it? Or why is failure negative in these other areas of our life? Really,
Put you in
failure?
an uncomfortable spot.
Yeah, it does.
People don't like to be uncomfortable.
No, we don't like to be uncomfortable. You know, we might be judged again, right? We just might be judged. But if we will allow ourselves to fail and not be good at something, that's a great starting point, right? Because A, you worked through something scary, right? We just did it. And then B, okay, that way didn't work, let me try again, right? So take a second. If there's something you're thinking about, what have you been thinking about? Something that maybe you'd be interested in trying if you weren't afraid to fail. And that's okay if you're afraid to fail, right? So if there's something you want to write down there, do that now, okay? Okay. Maybe it's just saying yes to something new, right? Okay, great. Okay. All right. I'm just getting caught up, guys, where I'm at right now. Okay. I'm going to just tell you guys about this situation that I have. My friends know that I have this thing, and it's called GTG. Okay. Barb's a good friend of mine, so she knows what I'm talking about. GTG is a syndrome that I made up, and it's called got to go. Okay? So I will go to places. I will go, you know, if I have an event I have to go to, I'll go to it. And I mean, but the minute I get there, I want to leave. Bad. You know what I mean? Like, I will go out to dinner, we'll have a friend dinner, and I'm doing great, and everything's good, because I want to be there. I do want to be there. But if the conversation lags, and we get, like, quiet, I'm just like, okay, I guess we're done, you know, and I'm just like, right? And my friends might be like, put your purse down. Where are you going? What are you doing, you know? And I'll be like, oh, I thought we were done, you know? So I'll put that down. But I'm saying this happens regularly, on the regular, you know? So Does anybody relate to this or not? Do you have that? Do you?
Yeah.
Okay.
And always, like, my friends would be like, oh, let's all ride together. I'm like, no, I'll take my own car. I leave when I want to, you know?
That, see, you need to break that strategy. If you go with them, you can't leave. No, I haven't wanted to do that yet. Yes. But, okay, so that's real. I think that's just a sense of insecurity, you know, for whatever reason. I don't want to have to, I don't know why, and you might not ever think that I might be insecure. I am, you know, I am. But the only way that the way that I can overcome this is when I go to these places and I just have to look for the person who needs to be saved, right? I just look around the room and like, where's that individual that doesn't look right? And you go and save them, and guess what? You're saved, right? You see the person. When you see other people, you are seen, right? So it's like you're doing this big favor for somebody, but the favor is just for you, right?
Yeah.
And so, anyway, that's my challenge to each of us here at the gym, because honestly, we really don't know other people's situations, do we?
Amen.
We surely do not. We don't know what people are going through and what losses they have and what struggles they're going through in their own life, do we? We just don't know. People look very like they have it all together, right? We don't know. I just think we should give people the benefit of the doubt. Some people might be offensive sometimes. We don't know what's happening in their life, do we? Let's just be the better part. Let's give people the benefit of the doubt, right? Okay, you guys, yes, we have a lot of power in us, don't we? We just have a lot of power in us. That even in a little gym class, you can make a difference for people's lives. Doesn't have to be a gym class. Could be wherever you work. Could be at the grocery store. Could be at a frame shop. Could be wherever. You know, you have a lot of power, and let's not keep it in, because as we give it away, we just strengthen others, right? Okay, here we go. Let's go. Did that. Okay, did that. Okay. Okay. Now I'm gonna go back to the beginning of my presentation, okay? I had a hard time naming this presentation. Betsy, I don't know if you had that same struggle. Yours was good, but I called it something like Embracing Our Changing Identities, right? I wanted to talk about that because, I think it's a relatable situation for everybody in this room. You know, every human being has different identities throughout life. And I'm not speaking of like we're all sons and daughters of God. That's an identity that will never change. That's my belief, you know. Or if you were a mother once, you're going to be a mom for your whole life. If you're a grandma, you get what I'm saying? Aunt, uncle, sister, those are unchanging. That is who we are. But we create all these different identities throughout our lives, right? And we really hang on to those, and we get, right? It's your job, it's your career, and things like that. And even being a stay-at-home mom, or a homeschooling mom, those are who we are, and we really lock into those. So that when something changes, or a divorce, or a passing of someone, or even I'm gonna say like even an injury. Think about when you've been injured and you cannot go about your life like you used to, right? That's everybody in here practically. That's people right now, and that's very painful, because a lot of your identity goes away. You used to be a fitness person. You used to go work out, or you used to walk or run, and now you can no longer do that. That's the things I'm talking about, right? So before I got certified, I was homeschooling our kids. I did not want to homeschool our kids. I accidentally started homeschooling our kids, and it just ended up being like 8 years, right? And so I was homeschooling them, and then until it came time for our daughter, she's the youngest, we have 3 boys, and then our daughter was going to be going into kindergarten, and I was getting ready to, school her at home, and she's like, I'm not staying home. I don't want to be schooled here. I'm going to school. No. And I'm like, honestly, I'm burnt out. I'm like done, So I'm like, guys, see ya. You're out, out of school. So our oldest was in 8th grade, and they all went to school, And so as happy as that was fantastic. But that was, all of a sudden I was like, ruh-roh, like, who am I? Like, I'm no one. You know what I mean? Like, it was just, come on, you've been there. I just know it. It's like, it's impressive or it's shocking or something when you say, what do you do? You know, and they're like, oh, no, I just, you know, I school our 4 kids at home and blah, blah, and everyone's like, whoa, like you're crazy or whatever the reaction is. There is a reaction to them, right? And so I would dread the conversations that would be like, what do you do? And I'd just be like, how long can I say, oh, I used to homeschool my kids at home. You know, like you can only do that for so long, right? So that's when I knew I needed to choose something else. I needed to create a new identity for myself, you know? So here's what I want you to think about. When I would ask myself, what do you want? I'm like, that's a hard question. Who could answer that? Like, I don't know. If I knew what I wanted, I'd be doing it right now, you know? Like, I don't know. So it took me a long time to figure out I needed to change that question a little bit. So the question that I asked that does make sense is, what do you like to do? Right? I mean, there we go. That's easier. That's like, okay, what brings you joy? What do you like? That's a less intimidating question, and we can still get to the bottom of the issue, right? So that's what I did. I said, like, you know, okay, well, what do you like to do? And I'm like, well, I like working out. And then I asked myself again, what do you like to do? You know, I'm like, I like working out. And then I'm like, well, what do you like to do? I'm like, I like to work out. And then finally it takes like a long time till you hear yourself. That's my point. It's like, it took me a lot of asking, like, till I believed it, like, oh yeah, you do like working out. You're good at it. You're good at it. You like to motivate people. You know, so I'm just saying, like, you actually know what you want to do. You know what you want to do. You just haven't admitted it. You haven't allowed yourself to think about it, maybe, you know. You know what you want to do. And it's just like, just ask yourself a different question, you know. Take some of the burden, take some of the weight off the question and just see what do you enjoy, you know. Because you just might find, you know all along what it is, right? And so when I finally listened to my answer, then it was really clear what I would want, what I needed to do. And you know what? Was this a whole new crazy identity? Not really. Because like, guess what? When I was in high school, I was doing tapes in my basement with my sisters. You know what I mean? Jane Fonda.
Yeah.
Denise Austin. Yes, Denise Austin. I mean, what about Elle McPherson's? Okay, what about Cindy Crawford? Did I say her?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, like those were like Jane Fonda, Buns of Steel,
Right.
Samuel Lee Webb. I mean, it was like, this was no new thing. Just check your life out, you guys. Look back. Look behind you. What are the breadcrumbs that you left? What are those breadcrumbs, you know? So take a minute. You're going to write some stuff down, okay? Take a minute and just think, just ask yourself, what do I like to do? What do I like to do? Am I doing what I like to do? Am I doing what brings me joy, right? And you might be all perfect at this right now, but is there anything that would bring you a little bit more peace in your life? Or a little bit more happiness? Maybe you're not in a position, I'm not suggesting you're changing career paths right now, you know, but I'm just saying maybe there's something that you could add to your life if you wanted to, something. Okay, so take a second, be on, guys. Do this.
Hydrate.
Hydrate. Yeah, hydrate. Drinking.
Keep on drinking. And what I wanted to do since 23.
Excellent. Nice. Okay. So guys, I'm going to tell you about one last experience. Okay. This was after I got the job at the gym at our club. Okay. And I was super excited because I was going to pull my first double. Okay, you know what that is? My 2 classes in a row. Okay, and Maria had asked me if I would sub her Zumba class, and I'm like, I don't teach Zumba. She's like, that's fine. You'll be fine. And I was like, you know, whoever your food is in here. Yeah. I was not fine. Okay, you're like, don't. She set me up. I think she set me up. You know, she's like, that's fine. Just I had like 2 weeks. I had like 2 weeks or 3 weeks. I had a lot of time to get prepared, and so I was like, you know what? I want to say yes. I want to do this because if she's asking me to do this, she must think that it's fine, you know. And so I'll do it. Yeah, I'll do it. You know. And so I was watching YouTube videos. I was like, I created a new class, okay, and it was called Sweat Fest. Okay, and I was hoping that would stick. I was hoping that would become a class called Sweat Fest. Okay, and it was basically a compilation of like fitness moves, like jacks, and you know, and then some dance moves. And it was like I had every song. I had like, you know, you got to do like 7-8 songs. I had everything choreographed to this. And the Zumba people came, and it felt like they didn't know I was going to be there. You know, so you know when you go to see a teacher, you're like, ooh, you're already disappointed. You see this, you know, some person you don't know, and then they teach you a class called Sweat Fest. Yeah. You can see this might not have gone over well, you know, but was everyone sweaty? Yes. Okay, to me that's a successful class. Everyone was flipping sweating their heads off, you know. Okay, so I go out after class, and I thought it went good, you know. So I go out, I brought an extra shirt because I don't want to be drenched in sweat for the second class. I go into the bathroom and shut the door, and I'm, you know, changing, and I hear in comes these two ladies, and they were like, oh boy, were you in Melissa's class? Yeah. Not a fan. You know? And they just went on and on and on, and I'm like, I kept thinking, do I stand up on the toilet seat? Right. How do I how do I get past this? You know what I mean? And they're like, and I'm just like getting like creamed in there. You know what I mean? Yeah. You've had someone that didn't like what you did, you know. But I'm just like, I'm watching the clock. I'm like, I gotta get back to my class. I gotta get to my real class. And so I just had to do it.
You walked out.
You know, and I stepped out, and they're like, and I'm like, no, it's fine. You know, like. I'm like, oh, I'm just, you know, I'm sorry that you didn't enjoy the class. You know, I did work really hard on it, but I go, every class will be different, you know. I encourage you to come back, you know, and I just said, you know, if you have something negative to say, I would love it if you just came and said it to me. You know what I mean? Yeah. And they're like, oh, so sorry, no. I'm like, no. My point is, we all have things like that. And you know what? What other people think about you is not your business. Amen. Okay? Mm-hmm. And your vibe will attract your tribe. Mm-hmm. Is that true? Yes. Okay? Yes. Everyone will not be for you. Mm-hmm. And that's fine. You know, woo! That is okay. Because I remember Maria telling me, I was like, how do you do this? How do you do that? And she's like, don't worry about mimicking me. You do your way, right? And she says your classes will grow, and they have. You know what? They have. And so I just want to encourage you to be authentic and be yourself, and don't worry about the rest, okay? And then the spin-off from that is that when we have things that we don't like about South Beach, oh, I'm sure nobody complains in this class. You know, when we don't like how dirty it is. We don't like how this. We don't like this. We don't like, you know, we don't like this. Take it to the source, you know, because, and there's the source right there. Yeah. There's the source. Lucky you're So I know, you know.
I'm in your 18 years.
Yeah. She can take it. So she's gonna leave. You know, we can get her. We can text her. We can email her. You know, we can leave a note at the desk for Sherry. Okay. My point is that rather than
I think I just met my scariest moment.
Yeah. No, I asked her beforehand if she'd mind if I said that. So,
bring it on.
Yeah, and I just want to remind you guys, like, you know, we have an amazing club. Yeah. We have an amazing club. And gyms, in my opinion, I always thought gyms, who cares if they're dirty? I mean, you're coming to sweat. Right? It doesn't matter that much, in my opinion. But anyway, we can go to the source rather than complain about it. You know, that just kind of brings the vibe down and stuff like that. And so I encourage you guys to do that. Okay? All right. So I'm going to say this. I'm going to say this right here and right now. I am blown away by you guys.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, you heard it. You heard it.
She's blown
I'm
away.
blown away by you guys. every time I take 1 minute, 5 minutes to find out about you, I'm always like, what? You run a nonprofit? What? You, you know, like, you guys, you're a doctor? I don't know what 1/3 of you are. And I think that's a problem. You know what I mean? We come to the gym or wherever we go and we're one-dimensional, right? We just come and we're just like this body in a workout outfit. And that's all we see. Like when I see you guys in public, which is not a lot, but when I see you, it's just like I'm seen as some kind of freaking superstar. You know, like, or I'm like, I cannot place it. 'Cause I'm like, gosh, dang, I know them from somewhere. And you know, it's like, because we look different when we're outside. You know, we have these different lives that are amazing. And this is another reason that I think I'm so excited about doing these presentations, because you are some of the presenters that we'll see up here, okay? And it's an opportunity for us to get to know each other and to support one another and to buy local or whatever, you know, whatever you want to say about it. And I don't know, I just encourage us to be a little bit vulnerable with each other. And so it will be fun to spotlight members and your talents and the things that you do, okay? We have a decent amount of time right now, and I would like to have you guys find someone you don't know. Okay, yep, I'm gonna make you do it. Nobody wants to do it. I want you just to go, I want you to stand up and go meet someone you do not know and sit down with them and share maybe some of the things you wrote, ask them about themselves, just get to know them. I'm gonna give you a minimum of 5 minutes to do this, okay? So please stand up, mix it up a little bit, go find someone you don't know and get to know that person.
Look, right now. Okay, you know no one, so I know you girls. I know you. I don't know you. Okay, yeah.